Have you ever sat there, completely drained, yet somehow unable to rest? Not tired enough to sleep, not energized enough to function, just stuck in that gray space where nothing feels right. You've tried everything. You scrolled until your eyes blurred, you put on music, you told yourself to just push through. And still, that invisible weight didn't lift. That's not laziness. That's not a weakness. That's a brain that has quietly run out of the one thing it needs most, and nobody ever taught you how to give it back. Here's what changes everything. Your brain already has a reset button built in. You've just never been shown exactly where it is. In this video, I'm walking you through 5 specific habits that trigger that reset, naturally, quickly, and without any willpower. And stay with me until habit 5, because that's the one most people never try, and it's the fastest one on this entire list.
Picture 2 people waking up to the exact same morning. Same alarm, same gray sky, same pile of unread messages waiting on the phone. One of them spirals. The heaviness sets in before their feet even touch the floor. The other one isn't particularly special, isn't more disciplined, didn't have a better day yesterday. The only difference is what they know about how their brain actually works. See, here's what nobody tells you. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running an outdated program, one that was written thousands of years ago when the most important thing a human brain could do was detect danger. Threats everywhere. Stay alert. Assume the worst. That wiring kept our ancestors alive, but it was never designed for modern life. For inboxes, deadlines, and the constant low-grade noise of living in an overstimulated world.
So your brain defaults to threat mode, not peace mode. That's not a character flaw. That's biology. And biology can be interrupted. These 5 habits work precisely because they don't fight your brain. They speak its language. They send a signal that says, the threat has passed. You can come back now. And that shift happens faster than you think. This next one is going to sound almost insultingly simple. And that's exactly why it works, because almost nobody actually does it. The habit is this. When you feel bad, say out loud exactly what you're feeling. Not in a journal, not in your head, out loud, in plain language. I feel irritated. I feel heavy. I feel scattered. That's it. No analysis, no fixing, no story around it. Just the raw, honest name of what's sitting in your chest right now. Here's why that single act is more powerful than it seems. When you're overwhelmed, the part of your brain responsible for emotional flooding, the amygdala, is running the show. It's loud, reactive, and it crowds out clear thinking. But the moment you put a precise word to what you're feeling, something measurable happens. Brain activity shifts. It moves from that reactive emotional center into the prefrontal cortex, the part of you that can actually think, decide, and breathe. Scientists call it affect labeling. You can call it turning the lights on in a dark room. The chaos doesn't disappear, but suddenly you can see it. And what you can see, you can navigate. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too simple to actually work. That's exactly what makes it so easy to skip. Most people are waiting for something harder, something more dramatic, and they walk right past the door that was already open. But naming what you feel is only half the shift. The next habit rewires what happens after. Your body and your brain are not separate systems having separate problems. When your mind is stuck, your body is stuck too, and the reverse is just as true. That's why this next habit requires almost no effort, yet produces a shift you can feel within seconds. Stand up, roll your shoulders slowly, 10 times, or simply walk to another room and back. That's the entire habit. No gym, no gear, no 30-minute commitment. Just movement. Small, deliberate, and enough.
Here's the mechanism. Even micro-movement increases blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the same rational, calm part of your brain we talked about earlier. It physically interrupts the rumination loop your mind was running. You're not exercising. You're changing rooms in your brain. Most people believe they need a full workout before movement earns the right to change their mood. That belief is exactly why they never start, because the bar feels too high, so they stay still and the loop keeps spinning. 10 shoulder rolls costs you nothing, and what it returns is momentum. But here's what matters most. Everything we've covered so far works at the moment. It resets, it interrupts, it clears. The fifth habit does something different entirely. It builds something permanent.
This is the one I told you to stay for. And I want you to notice something before I explain it. The fact that you're still here tells you something about yourself. You're not someone who just wants a quick fix. You're someone who wants to actually change. So here it is. At the end of every day, write or say 3 things that happened. Not 3 things you're grateful for. That's a different practice entirely. This is completion recognition. The language sounds like this. Today, I finished something. Today, I noticed something. Today, I felt something, even if it was hard. That subtle shift in framing changes everything underneath it. Here's why. Your brain releases dopamine not just in anticipation of reward, but in the recognition of completion. Every time you consciously name what you moved through in a day, however small, you are feeding your brain a signal it is chemically designed to respond to. And over time, something profound happens. The brain that once scanned every room for threat begins slowly and measurably to scan for progress instead. You're not journaling. You're reprogramming what your brain looks for. That is not a metaphor. That is how neural patterns are actually reshaped through repetition, through attention, through the quiet daily act of saying, I was here and I did something with it. The most powerful habits rarely feel powerful in the moment. They feel almost too ordinary until one day you realize you're no longer the person who needed the reset. Next time it hits, no reason, no trigger, just that familiar heaviness settling in. You won't stand there helpless, wondering what's wrong with you. You'll know exactly what to do. You'll breathe with intention and let your nervous system catch up. You'll name what you're feeling out loud and watch the fog begin to lift. You'll move your body, even just across the room, and feel your thinking clear. You'll say what you completed today, not what you achieved, but what you lived through. 5 habits. No willpower required. No perfect morning needed. Just small, precise signals sent to a brain that already knows how to respond. Because here's the truth that this entire video has been building toward. Your brain was never against you. It was just waiting for the right signal. Now you know how to send it. And if something in this video shifted something in you, that feeling is worth following.